And just like that, we are here. You guys, it's a late start because of me, because I am a late procrastinator. I procrastinate and I'm trying to get ahead of things.
You were multitasking.
I was multitasking because I was like, I'm going to go live like 30 minutes before the show and show people the pregame method of what my pregame looks like. Because people often will be like, what does it look like to be intuitive and like get ready for all that? What do you do to get ready? And I don't really know. I don't know what that looks like. So, I mean, I guess there is a process for sure. So I thought, well, maybe I'll just show that process, right? I'm trying to do more of that in this year and show that. And so, yeah, I jumped.
This is about the extent of my pregame. I just wing it.
He's winging it, guys. We're all just winging it in essence, I think.
But I'm going to add little. It's my fault that we didn't do. So I think last Tuesday I said we were going to do the Sunday Night Dead New Year's thing on New Year's, and not realizing that I really meant to do it on the 8th. But I've done I still have to like write it all out. But for folks on here, and I think Steph's one of these people. I'm not happy with how the year looks. And I'm going to say that the players on the world stage that I don't like, I think I'm predicting are going to do very well. And those that I do, I think are going to do very poorly. So I don't think I'm going to be a very happy person this year.
Don't say that. The optimistic, goal-oriented living person inside me wants to say, we got this. We got it. Right? Kind of.
I felt I was negative last year. The thing I will preface is 23 will be worse.
Well, 23, and well, here's the deal. Not only
Pluto and Aquarius. Pluto and Aquarius. That's all I'm going to say. Pluto moves.
Pluto moves. And that is one of those, it's extremely significant when people talk about like the most important planet in your birth chart is blah, blah, blah. It should be Pluto. And everybody's it should be Pluto because Pluto's like life altering. It's the rock. It's a planet. No, it's a rock. It's a planet.
But
kind
it's
of a
generational.
Thing.
So there's like 20 years worth of people that all have the same aspect.
You guys, that's serious. And if you, I think I shared last week, if you're into Robert, I think it's Robert Korn. Please don't be not Robert. I think it's Robert Korn, Professor Korn. But the Generations book. And I know it made kind of a big comeback and it's been quite popular with like sociological predictions in generations. And this book is called Generations. It's that time. It's that 40-year, 80-year ripple in time.
Steph, Pluto's really big solar return just happened to happen on Russia's invasion of Ukraine. I think it was on the exact same day. It was at least within like 24 hours of it.
Well, there's going to be a lot of growth potential because there's death. There's going to be a lot of death and destruction. And if you are someone who enjoys doing the tarot cards, the cartomancy cards, then, you kind of wince a little bit when you see death, but you know that it doesn't mean actual death, but it means an end. And where there's that end, physics provides something for the void. And this is I have a girlfriend of mine who's very upset that I do not watch. Guys, I don't watch TV. Does that surprise you? I don't watch TV. I did watch Vikings. But like, I'm not like watching all the shows that are on. And she's like, Sarah, you need to be watching his Dark Materials. You need to read the books and you need to be watching his Dark Materials on HBO Prime. And I'm like, man, I don't have subscriptions. I don't do that. And she's like, no, you need to right now because we do a morning meditation every morning. We've been talking about the polarities and the gender struggles and the political struggles and just the different ripples that you see happening throughout history and like the crashing and the separations and all of these different things. We talk about it quite spiritually. And I'll be like, well, it's really people, fighting with God. And she's like, you need to be watching his Dark Materials. They're talking about Metatron right now. They're talking about this right now. And like all the different shows and how, peripheral over, like all the shows, Black Mirror. I did watch some of those because I love the writing process in some of those. But anyway, you know what I mean? Dystopic stuff. 1984 Orwellian, like Steph says geological changes. Yes. Earthquakes and floods.
But you'll have to join us on Sunday for that whole download of what we think will happen next year or this year.
On Sunday. Yeah. Let's stay focused. We'll do that on Sunday.
This show is all about the week. Sunday will be all about the year.
Okay, guys. Are you ready to rumble? Get out a piece of paper and a pen if you guys have not joined us before, or if you've hesitated in the past. Maybe you've joined us for a year, 2 years, 11 years. Matt and I have been on air for a while. Get a pen and paper and do this with us. It really is going to help you sharpen your skills in the new year. You want to be psychic in the new year? You want to know stuff's coming around the corner and know what your IBS actually means? Get a pen and paper right now. Let's do it.
Make predictions.
Watch it happen and be like, holy shit. You will realize you do have the force. This whole time you've had it. You just needed to write it down.
That's what I do. But since I do know prep, I always forget what I just say in the moment. And then it's like my friends will message me saying, you said on Monday this would happen. And it did.
Right. And that's one of, I think,
the reasons. Had anything related to the like football guy. That was scary.
I didn't watch it. But in the show, we had talked about someone on, and I believe the language that Dorian, if you're on the show, sent me was, oh my God, I have to go back and look. Something big, something major on the playing field, I believe was our language.
Okay. Yeah. That's a scary.
It is scary. And then, yeah. I saw your social media post today, Matt. For those of you who are interested, go get the drama there on people having their own thoughts on the who, what, when, where, and why this is happening. Where's Kanye? Where is the like so many weird, random, crazy.
I'm truly trying on the social thing because I've had some people very close to me. I love to stir the pot, but there's some people very close to me that hate that I do it. So I'm trying to tone it down.
You're trying to not engage in the conflict that is out there. And there is conflict out there. So let's get into this. Let's get into it. Let's look at it.
We're 10 minutes in already. So
I know. Shame on us. Okay. January 2023. This is for anybody in the Gypsy Tribe joining us. This is, we're writing it down. All the notes go somewhere and they go somewhere special. Okay. So today is Tuesday. We talked about it last week. The moon's in Gemini, Mars in Gemini. We shared in the pre-show that there's a lot about the doppelgangers, twins being pulled in these different directions, but we need to focus on tomorrow because that's what we're interested in is the future telling. And so tomorrow is Wednesday. I'm going to post this in here. Oh, this is for those of you joining us. I always think of Chet if he's joining us tonight. Those who use astrology for money and growth and stocks, yes, there will be asset growth and stock changes and money-making opportunities. Watch Venus. Venus is one of the planets you want to kind of watch in the astrology movements for money. Tomorrow, Wednesday, the 4th, Venus will be in Aquarius. And it'll be sextile Jupiter in Aries. What do you think about that, Matt, when you hear
Jupiter's opportunity. Aries is impulsive. So this is... like a last minute opportunity, move, kind of high pressure sales type things. Sextile is remove obstacles to. Venus is either money or romance in non-conventional. Aquarius is kind of like the curveball, the wild card, the out of the box. So I see this as either unconventional economic opportunities manifesting themselves tomorrow or unconventional romantic opportunities manifesting themselves tomorrow.
Ooh la la.
But keep in mind, now this is coming from a Capricorn who is like, square to Aries. So I am not an Aries person. I would always be hesitant and think twice about any financial opportunity that pops up with high pressure. And that's kind of how the Aries and Jupiter, I see it as, you need to act now. You need to do it. 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 So whether romantic or financial, I would be a little reluctant to just jump without thinking it through.
Yeah, try not to act because the momentum is going to be to act and react. Instead, I would just use the information that you see and where and what you see moving I would take that information and just use that as it were, in whatever way that kind of benefits you. The manipulation, the neurolinguistic programming, dare I say, is manipulation, which I know is kind of a dirty word. But for those of us doing the magic and work, the shadow work on that, it's really not. And understanding how you manipulate, how you behave, and how you move, and how the people around you move is extremely important. Is that a rattlesnake? Is that a sidewinder? Watch it move. Watch how people move, and you are going to learn a ton. So you don't have to invest tomorrow, but you can definitely write down on your whiteboard what you're thinking of investing in and what other people are thinking of investing in, and then engage right around that full moon, Thursday night, Friday morning. Let's see how the rest of the week looks. But write down your predictions for that. What stock, what sales, what new fashion. Oh, I love it. I love it. Vogue, Vogue, Vogue. I always think Vogue, Venus. It's going to be immediately Valentine's now that New Year's is over. Valentine's, right in your face. Huge things. Announcements, love announcements. Tomorrow, Wednesday. Okay, Thursday, guys, write down 2 dots on y'all piece of paper. Okay, let me move it over here and post it for those joining us live in the chat room. Matt, tell us. I know it's a moon. It's a moon thing. It's the waxing moon, growing, growing, growing. Almost there, almost there. But it's a waxing moon in Cancer. When you start feeling this Cancer energy, what do you think?
It's its home sign. So I feel this is like even though I kind of downplay the moon things because they change every 2 days. Cancer is the home sign for the moon. So this is the peak part of the month for emotional intensity. So I'd say the next couple days, starting, this is Thursday, right? Starting Thursday, emotions will be very high and intense. So keep that in mind with everything else that's going on.
Mm-hmm. That morning. The emotional needs, I would say the continuation of crying, tantrums, freak out. That energy is growing. I feel a Willy Wonka moment of the when he's on the Chocolate Express. And I hate that reference. I'm so sorry. Of like
when he's singing that creepy song on the boat.
The creepy song on the boat, and they keep rowing, and they keep like that.
It's funny. I was just listening to. I do these like album ratings, and so I wouldn't have listened to it other than the album ratings. But there is, I think it's the very first Marilyn Manson. I actually thought it was kind of cool. The very first Marilyn Manson album starts with that song.
Really?
The Willy Wonka creepy boat song. You'll have to look it up.
Really?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, and that's
I
weird.
actually thought it was kind of. I'm not a Marilyn Manson fan, but I actually thought that was like really cool when I heard it.
Man, talk about go down the crazy conspiracy wormhole of like I wrote down on my notes for that Thursday for the moon, and I wrote down Helter Skelter reference. That's all I wrote. Because I feel like it's Thursday and people are going to be crazy. They're building up for what's going to happen on Friday. We'll talk about in just 2 seconds because there's one more thing that's going to happen Thursday that you go like, oh, snappity snap. But it's a building energy. Kind of freaks me out a little bit. So here we go. Let's see what else is happening Thursday because Matt's pulling these cards. He's like,
I'm just shuffling. I'm pulling
cards. I want to pull a card for the full moon.
It seems relevant. I'm going to go ahead and say it, but so far they haven't been relevant.
Okay, don't. Okay, here we go. The second thing that's happening on Thursday. Boom. Say it isn't so. The sun's in Capricorn, trine Uranus and Taurus.
This is a great energy to like totally change things and blow things up because Uranus is out of the box. It's innovative. Although Taurus kind of tamps it down because Taurus is very stubborn. So you have kind of opposite signs there, or they're actually square to each other. But, Taurus wants to be stable and Uranus wants to shake things up. But Capricorn wants achievement. So you have this whole sun, the main extroverted energy being in this achievement, climb the mountains, let's get crap done, Trine is synergy with Uranus. Let's think outside the box and shake things up. But then Taurus is kind of be stable and don't change a lot. So I'm a little conflicted in how I see this here, but I'll still say that since three of the four seem to be leaning towards change, this is still an opportunity to change things up and drive some big changes in whatever you're interested in, but realize that that may involve not doing what you're asked to do. I always feel like Uranus and Taurus is rebelling by not doing as opposed to doing something different.
It's so weird. So I love being able to do the pregame space because I write down itty bitty tiny little things. Usually it's more lengthy. So next week you guys will see how that kind of expands. But like just being able to go through and just quickly write down like one word, like looking at it and being like, oh shit, okay, right, just put something in there. The only thing I was able to write down for the pregame, and then the rest of it's very improv, is crumping. When I feel like the sun is in Capricorn and Uranus and Taurus, I know right now that in this, at least Northern Hemisphere, we're all in a hibernation, isolation mode. It's kind of the second phase of manipulation by which the universe and those authorities above us are doing, absolutely, to change things up. So you have to change things up. If you are feeling at odds, you have to add a variable. And so that movement, especially knowing Uranus and Taurus is like a curveball, it's going, you know what? I'm not going to play this game. I'm going to get up and shake things off like a ball game plays the music when it's a timeout or when there's CPR done on the field. You just stop the game. You're just not doing this anymore. You're going to do that now. Yeah. And you don't stop what you're doing.
You nailed it, though. That Uranus and like stopping that game and totally potentially screwing up the whole season.
Yeah.
Because a guy was potentially dying and it was the right thing to do. That's Uranus and Taurus.
That's Uranus and Taurus.
Yeah, that is a great example.
I wrote down crumping, which is a form of African dancing that's about expressing deep emotions through oppression and disobedience and breaking chains and all sorts of really cool history and things. But it's like a very emotional, confrontational, like, movement, drumming and drum dancing. And when I do like verbal and nonverbal communication, crumping is a really beautiful thing to watch. And I feel like that is going to be something to really do Thursday, because otherwise you're going to scream and spit at somebody that you love or vice versa. And the shaking of the things, for those of you predicting earthquakes and things or feeling as though the earth is shaking around you. What do we predict for Thursday with this energy?
I don't know why I'm going to say this, but whenever these weird ones pop out of left field and I don't say it, this. People,
I know.
And then I always regret not saying it. So I'm going to go ahead and say it. There's going to be a different Speaker of the House announced. It's not going to be McCarthy.
Who is it?
It might end up being the Dem, because the GOP might shoot themselves in the foot here. But that would be rebelling by not doing. Is people sit on their hands and not do what they're supposed to do, and we end up with a option that you didn't think you were going to get. That's my prediction.
Okay. I like that prediction. I like seeing
I'd be laughing just because folks know Trump, Bobert, MTG, all those folks I don't like. So anything that them angst makes me happy.
I don't know.
It's okay.
I don't know. I think that all of the emotional things, the sex trafficking, the conspiracies about, who's this, do this, don't do that, the stuff coming out in the French Catholic Church and just all sorts of crazy, wild things that are they're very emotional. You notice that? They're all highly emotional content. Very emotional. I think that theme is going to continue, especially as we approach. Guys, let's do it. Friday. I love this for my Excel spreadsheet because it's like a gold and mustard color. It's very pretty. For those of you in the Gypsy Tribe, you'll get to see it. Those of you in the chat room, this is all you get to see.
This is a weird sidebar before we get into the full moon in Cancer. I'm just going to say that I don't know why my brain went here, but I think almost like Austin Powers and the little everybody's after my Lucky Charms kind of deal of just when you're in a good optimal position, there's tons of other people out there that'll try to convince you to give up that position. And so I'm always of the position of, no, I'd rather keep my good position and not give that spot away. So that's kind of my response to all the conspiracies and all the, we're evil, we're bad, things need to change kind of piece of like, no, I'm kind of cool where I'm at. So I'm going to leave things the way they are.
I like to be a fly on the wall. I really like to make my move strategically with information that I feel really secure about. I feel like that is a big part of the Virgo in me, which is precisely why. And I know that, Matt, you often give that liability waiver of like, we're not meaning to be, but Cancer, how does, like Katie expressing, how does one deal with a person who's manic this week, for example? That Cancer energy, I like that question, by the way. Like, how do you deal with it? Alchemy, this is where I would say alchemy comes into play with mental illness, especially. It's a full moon in Cancer. So you have really high emotion, really, really high. Where is it? For those of you who work with me privately, we'll start here. You have really high water energy. You're going to have a lot of feelings. And if you don't have a lot of intent or information or time behind it, you're going to struggle with dumb action. If you have someone who's been thinking for 9 years about this and now they're feeling, you're going to have like a divorce that's been waiting to happen. This is going to be major life transformation that happens in such a way that the feelings are crazy. So how do you deal with mania? There's a lot of ways, depending on the person. What would you say, Matt, as we kind of...
This is going to be this is kind of the yin and yang between the two of us, because it's going to be such a different example than what you just showed. For those history buffs or nerds out there, I'm just going to say I would rather be a Roman than a Visigoth, Vandal, or barbarian. So on the grand scheme of things, if it's good to be a Roman. And so
yeah, it is good to be a Roman.
So full moon in Cancer, this is just, Cancer is the home sign. So this is just moon energy for those moon children out there. And as I've said before, Cancer is probably my favorite sign, or one of my favorite signs. This is like peak moon energy. So it's the one time during
on
the
a
year,
Friday,
the one time of the year where the full moon is actually in Cancer, and Cancer is its home sign. So this is like peak emotional energy. And for those emotional folks out there, this is kind of your high point of the year. So I just picture emotions on high. But if you want to get in touch with your emotions, as far as like advice, this would be the time to do that. So meditate. This is the high point. We're still on Thursday, right? This is the high point.
Friday.
Friday. We're in the high point of getting in touch with your emotions.
Yeah.
So, if you want emotional guidance, kind of where to hit your like true north emotionally, meditate on Friday.
It's interesting. I feel like this song comes up a lot in my mind, so for those, again, who have worked with us and get some of that mentoring space or the archetypes and the birth chart space and can put it all into that organization. This is the Mulan soundtrack with Christina Aguilera. Who is that girl I see? Moon magic, reflection magic, the scrying, the obsidian, the crystals, the look into my mirror, mirror on the wall. These kinds of who am I? Who am I really? Who are you? Who are you really? The fifth contact people out there are going to be thinking, this is the Friday. This is the Friday that the aliens come. They come down on the Friday on the 6th or 7th or whatever day we're on now. It's Friday. Moon in Cancer, full moon in Cancer, the rise, the peak of true reflection of people making major life transformation. You just got divorced. You just got a kidney if you're my dad. You just got like major life things. Now what? Who are you?
This is the apex of your emotional energy for the year. There will not be another day where there's more emotional intensity and focus than Friday.
Man. Interesting.
However you want to use it, go ahead. But this is the peak.
Peak. Well, and it's such a weird thing you use the word apex, because when I think of the word apex, I think of apex predator. Because I work with sex offenders. And so oftentimes we're using that, and like, what does that mean? If someone's like, well, I consider that to be an apex predator. It's like, that's somebody who has foresight, somebody who has intention. That's somebody who's planning it, somebody who knows what they're doing, somebody who has a plan, somebody who you probably are more concerned about an apex than.
In fairness, this is coming from a Cap, so I view apex as the peak achievement.
Hold on.
Not.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Not hurting someone, but accomplishing something. So that was kind of how I viewed it.
Well, it's going to be Friday. Gosh dang it, I'm so nervous for this Friday. Okay, guys, that is my dog. I am a real person with a real dog. So
it's funny because your dog's now triggering my dogs.
Well, and what's weird is I don't know what this is. I mean, it could be anything. Could be a bear. Who knows? So I will pass it over to you.
It's going to get worse overnight, but we are having like a huge set. It's almost like 7. It was like 9 degrees like last week. It's like 70 now. And we're having like huge storms blowing through. So we're getting like winds and like rains like hitting the window right in front of me. So we have all kinds of weird noises outside and stuff.
Well, and man, look at them go. You guys, we're real people. Are your dogs barking at home? Let us know. Sorry if they are.
Maybe we can trigger more dogs across the.
Maybe it's like maybe they're signaling to each other like the Dalmatians movie. What is it, Lancy? Hold on, I'll holler, and then for those of you live in the chat room, you'll see my angry face. But let's go to Saturday. Boulder, stop! Don't make me be angry. Saturday, this is happening. Your dogs are so cute. It's a waning moon. Thank God. The moon will be deflating from Cancer to what's that? No.
Well, this is simple. I have a simple way to interpret this one is you have all that emotional intensity, and then Leo is very focused on self. So now it just gets onto the emotions just shift to what do I need? You know, it's kind of all up. So there's going to be a shift in emotions to all about me. So be ready for that. I'd be ready for very particularly coming off the emotional high point of the year. I would look for some very self-centered type behavior with this lunar shift. I'm not dissing on Leos. I'm married to a Leo. As I've mentioned before, everyone I've ever dated was a Leo. I'm not, but it's going to go from this emotional piece to, okay, what do I need to, that introspection on emotion is going to translate to, okay, what do I need? And that's going to start to get expressed.
Selfish expression, I might add, which I would say this is kind of a fun energy because it's going to be like, you know what? Oh, okay, that's how it is. Full moon awareness, new life, new me, new car. That's how we're doing. Okay. Well, instead of throwing a tantrum, now I'm going to do this. Now I'm going to do this because I feel this way. I am going to do blank because I felt or feel blank. That would be the shadow work for that moment. Fill in those blanks and see what is it that you or other people in your life might do to self-destruct on themselves. Because that's kind of ideally what we're looking for in the astrology and how to use this. So one more thing happens on Saturday night, a week from New Year's. And the sun is in Capricorn. Oh, the sun. And it is conjunct Mercury, still retrograde in Capricorn. So how do you see this panning out?
I always like me it's because I am a Capricorn. I always like conjunct because it's consistency, it's like intensity, it's moving. So this is Mercury, since Mercury is thoughts and communications. Whenever that's conjunct, I like that because like your talk and your thoughts are consistent with the energy that you're putting into it. So this is very much thoughts and communications on goals and achievement. So I would very much pay attention to what other people say and express, because I feel like everyone's going to get great alignment on what their goals are. And I feel it's not a coincidence that Capricorn season overlaps with the beginning of the year when you're talking about, personal resolutions and goals, business resolutions and goals, all that goal setting. Not a coincidence. And so here it's really nice because this conjunction means that your thoughts and communications are going to be very well aligned. So people are going to be able to communicate very clearly on what they want to achieve and what they want to do. And it's also the great time if you want to ask somebody else what their goals are. It's a great time to get alignment on that as well.
I like that you shared some of that. And I would say specifically, it's going to pan out in a way that like the sun in Capricorn would imply the behavior part. Like when people are like, I'm going to lose weight, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. All the things that people put as their resolutions, things they want to do, things I'm going to do this, I'm going to become this, I'm going to be a skinny version of myself, I'm going to be the best version of myself, I'm going to do this. They either have or haven't by this point, and it's going to be Saturday, the full week check-in. I didn't do it like I said I was going to do it. Cool, great, fine. Guess what that means? That means you're the same person you were. And if you still want those things, it doesn't have to be a day, a special day, the same day as everyone else. It doesn't have to be that day. It can be this day. It can be tomorrow.
Pepper's got a good point. I forgot it was retrograde. So there's going to be miscommunication in those goals.
Well, it'll just be misguided, I think. I think people will be like, well, I told you to tell me to stop eating Cheetos. And someone's going to be like, well, I wanted to work on telling you to not do things and to just work on pride and encourage you when you do the right things. And you just didn't do those yet. And well, what do you mean I don't do anything? And then it's going to become like, oh shit, this just went from how we were trying to help focus each other's goals to maybe a miscommunication.
Yeah, so a couple of things I just want to add here real quick. So I always talk about, Scorpio and Capricorn, I feel, are the two most intense signs. But Scorpio is emotional intensity. And since we're in Capricorn season, I just want to reissue again, Capricorn is cold intensity. So, there's a certain level of Capricornness of, I don't give a shit how you feel. We're going to get this done. Whereas Scorpio is much more about, that kind of emotional intensity to it. But they're the two most intense signs. But right now we're in a season of very cold and personal. I don't really give a shit how you feel about it kind of intensity. Then to another piece, Queen asked something about, I got to scroll back now. Does it translate to Leo? Hang on. There we go. Does it translate to Leo being more self-driven, as in more about themselves? Leo's weird in that Leo is very generous. So Leo actually is very, is not self-centered in that they don't not think about others. But best way I could describe it is they always think about how their interactions with others reflect on themselves as well, if that makes sense.
The pride.
So they're not going to be selfless. That's more of a Pisces that's going to throw themselves on their sword to help somebody else. Leo will help others, but they're going to do it in a way that makes themselves look good. So Leo likes the spotlight.
It's fine if you want to get a divorce. That's cool. That's fine. Can we wait until after Easter, though? Because we have Disneyland.
Yeah. I feel like, just like I say,
it's cold.
I feel like Capricorn and just what I said with Capricorn and Scorpio, I'd almost say the same thing with Leo and Pisces, in that they're both very generous and that they're focused on other people. But Leo is focused on other people in terms of how it makes them look. Whereas Pisces will totally self-destruct to help others around them. Which I'm going to note again, because I always get shit on that for some reason. People think I am negative on Pisces. I view that as a positive on Pisces. So don't give me hate.
Hate.
I actually really like the water signs, even though all the water signs think I hate them.
We don't hate you. We just don't like you. No, I'm kidding. Just kidding. Which is worse. Pepper said, a good example of that Capricorn energy is there was a 78-year-old man that re-signed up at the gym today, and it was his birthday. And he looked her dead in the face when she said, happy birthday. And he said, hey, I'm old. I don't celebrate anymore. That cheeky attitude. It is like Monty Python. I do believe, I know Matt's always like, people think I'm an asshole. I feel the same way about a lot of my friends. A lot of the guy friends that I keep close to my heart are Capricorns, and they're cold-hearted bitches. But they're so much fun. They're the fun to people to game.
I don't know what I would do in this situation, but I would say like Capricorn energy is like, we are starving. We are a family of 4. And if the hunter doesn't eat, he dies and everyone else dies with them. So I'm so sorry. The hunter needs to eat, even if that means one of you dies. That's kind of the cold Capricorn energy. It's all about what needs to get done.
It's that person in the...
Even if it sucks, we need to do whatever we need to do to move forward.
In Airplane, it's that person who has to first be like, hey, I know that we liked Joe John, but it's time to eat someone. And
yeah,
he was really big. So we're going to cut him up first. Sorry, Paula. Like, bye-bye, Joe John. He's going to get eaten. And that's a Capricorn. It will be a Capricorn.
Capricorn is kind of like Spock energy, too. It's like Spock. It's like computer. It's like non-emotional. It's like whatever we need to do to move forward. Yes, I know this sucks. Yes, I'm very sad, but this is what we have to do. Blech. Yeah. Whereas I feel like the more emotional ones, like even like a Scorpio, like they would, passionately fight for whatever emotionally fed them, as opposed to maybe what's the logical piece. So Scorpio's like intense heart, Capricorn's like intense head. If that makes sense.
It makes perfect sense. I'm loving some of the comments, you guys. If you do not join us,
I'm a cold and emotional asshole, just so you know.
But we love that.
But I also have a Trillium or Tritium, whatever you.
You're as cold as ice.
I have 3 planets in Libra, so I got a lot of Libra energy too. So that kind of tempers my Capricornness.
Yeah,
that makes me kind. I think that makes me kinder than the normal Capricorn, because I have. It does. It makes you more
fair, at least. Hey, send that person stale food too. I don't want everyone suffering alone. You're at least fair in the cold-heartedness. Okay, that's okay. We appreciate that. Okay, guys, it's going to be, what day are we on? Man, we're trying to get through the week, and I believe we have gotten ourselves all the way through to Sunday. Are we on Sunday, guys? You're going to have to let me know. I believe it's Sunday.
I think we are on Sunday.
Sunday, 2 things happen, and they very much are mimicking the Saturday energy, which is that miscommunication of resolutions and kind of continued conflict. But on Sunday, you've got Mercury retrograde still in that Capricorn space with the Uranus and Taurus. So whatever that curveball was when Uranus hit us previously this week. Which day was it? Thursday. It's a Thursday ripple.
This is a day after that, kind of communicating your goals. So now this is like the same thing. So this is communicating thoughts and goals aligned with what you're going to change. But again, Uranus and Taurus is a weird one because it's like changing by not doing. So think of it almost like, I've done this for such a long time. I want to change things up. So from this day forward, I am no longer going to do X. That's the kind of stuff you're going to be seeing.
For example, the energy I will give you is I recently was looking at my dishes, because I still do dishes by hand, guys. We're living in this world. And doing dishes. And it occurred to me that, I have Teflon pans that are slightly might have a scratch on them because they're not perfect. I know that's bad. That's bad health. If it's like even remotely even tarnished, your Teflon, if it's even just even a dent, a freckle, you are now eating Cancer. And I was sitting there getting ready to do the dishes, and I held it up in my hand, and I was like, am I going to do this, or am I going to throw this away? Am I going to clean this dish and hang it up and eat off of it again and again, or am I just going to throw it away? And that Uranus and Taurus energy in me said, throw it away. Get rid of it. And I did. And I got rid of it, and I threw it in the trash. Well, I asked my husband to throw it in the trash. But it's that, like, yeah, spay and neuter energy, says Katie. Don't forget to spay and neuter your cats and dogs. This is Sunday. And one more thing happens on Sunday. It's a continued ripple in the moon waning in Leo. Think of the pride. Think of the group. Think of the pride before you throw out all the pans. Sarah, we make pancake in those pans. Can we make pancakes? Everyone loves pancakes. What will people think if we can't make pancakes? Oh, yeah, that's right. We can make pancakes another way. It creates innovation, but it's still like you need to stop and think about it, right? Am I making sense? Maybe.
Yep. I'm just laughing at all that. And Katie was kind of trolling it, saying, what sign is Matt bashing tonight? Like, I really don't think I bash any sign.
He's bashing Pisces.
But it's funny. So I was just calling it out in the chat. It's funny in that I get shit from the water signs, and I love the water signs. And I feel like I'm like an asshole to the fire signs, and I'm yet to have anyone from any of the 3 fire signs give me any crap, which I honestly feel is the difference between a water signs mentality and a fire signs mentality.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's a very different space.
An Aries or a Sag isn't going to give a crap if I shit on them.
Isn't that fun?
No, I truly don't dislike any sign, so don't get me wrong on that.
Well, believe it or not, we're going to be coming to the end of the week. First real good.
I don't know how to.
Week.
I think ICAS might be the new incarnation of dragons, and I'm not quite sure about that comment, ICAS. I'm just going to let that one go.
Oh, okay. I didn't even see it, so we'll go in there because I'm too busy trying to post what's going to happen next. Because Monday, something happens, and we want to make sure and fit everything in before the Tuesday swings in. Because man, the end of the show creeps up on us quick. And you guys don't forget, you can download it for free on Odyssey Radio. You can check it out every week, 9 p.m. YouTube, on your social media sites. We'll post all the links in the chat. But on Monday, January 9th, take us to how this goes. Ooh. Venus in Aquarius. It's another money day. Guys, write it down.
Yep.
Mars in Gemini. And this is a Monday. So I think money and love. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Money and love. And Mars is action, activity, aggression in Gemini, which is kind of exploration, kind of feel things out. But unlike Sagittarius, which is just like bungee jump, go. Gemini is like, which way do I go? So it's not necessarily that they're going to move, but they're going to explore which way to move. So you have this Venus in Aquarius. So Aquarius is outside of the, kind of out of the box thinking, kind of doing things differently. Venus, love and money. So I see this as either financial or romantic exploration and actually, sending some serious feelers out on this. So this is business and romantic opportunities will be ripe on Monday.
Ooh, what an interesting word to use for the beginning of the year. People starting about the return to the light and kind of the beginning, things beginning to blossom. And this will be a few days into the actual reflective space of like, who am I really? Who is that girl? Oh, it's me. There I am. And like, you're going to remember that moment and that ripeness of, this is what I need to do. I feel like Monday will be a good day. People will be buying. People will be engaging. People will be investing. You reach out, I need to do this. Okay, let's do that. People are going to be willing and capable on that Monday. And then one thing happens on Tuesday. Oh, am I so glad to see this. Thank the Lords. It's only one thing. And if you guys know, you've listened to the show before, Virgo moon. That's my moon. I love it when the moon is in my lunar sign, which my moon sign's in Virgo. So the moon waning, and Virgo. What does that mean for folks out there, Matt?
Well, much to what you just said, if you know your moon sign, and if you don't, give us a call or send us a message. We can help you figure that out. But those are your power days of the month. So you have like 2 or 3 days of your month, which are like your power days. And those are when the moon resides in your home sign. So this is going to be a good time for Sarah. Moon is emotion. Virgo is all detail. I's dotted, T's crossed. Detail. So I would say this is an emotional space of wanting to know facts, wanting to confirm things, wanting to know the specifics of situations. So this may translate in relationships of people wanting, more definitive actions to show kind of where you stand in a relationship. It may be in business, people wanting more details on the projects you're working on. But it's all detail.
Ooh, I think the phrase, where do you stand, is a very powerful shadow work space thing to say. Where do you stand? That's spiritually like placement, magic. Where are you in your life? Maybe linearly on your mile markers, on your goals. And that Virgo often is asking us, like, where are you in your space? What does it even matter? What are you doing today to get yourself closer to that which you would like to be closer to? And are you going to even attain that today? And if not, like, let go of the worry that you won't. Virgos, a lot of the time, overplan, overthink, and they feel on the edge of that because they're that mutable sign. So having those ducks in a row, as Christy would say, is going to be something that allows you to feel good. Murmuration of the birds has a purpose. It keeps everyone safe and entertained and together. And the Virgo moon likes that. So kind of get that swarm going. Pay attention to the dance. And is it Ikaz, as would say, have I noticed people more irritated easily lately? Yes, that's that Mars in Gemini. That's that waxing moon in Cancer building onto Friday's full moon. If you missed it, which you did in the beginning, we shared that. You guys, if you missed it, right now we're finishing it up. You just go back and listen to it. You just download it and re-listen to it and write down your predictions. I think we've got a few more minutes, Matt. So since we've made it to Tuesday, maybe we pull a card or something for predictions for the week. I will gladly
pull a card.
Yeah. What do we think, guys? Put it in the chat room.
And then if anybody wants a card, I'll be happy to pull a card till we run out.
Ooh, I might want one.
Do you have cards?
I do. I've got my deck right here, and I've got.
Oh, wow. This is a interesting one for the week.
Oh, no. I want to pull my cards.
Any guesses to what it is?
Hold on. Interesting for the week.
Oh my God, if you get the same one, I'm going to be nervous. This is a big one.
You say that, it makes me think it's going to be a major arcana. I think it's going to be Chariot.
It's definitely major. And I would
it's either the Chariot or the Fool, maybe?
I call this one of those majors squared, but maybe it's just the way I'm wired. I don't like this card.
Okay.
All right. Mine is Judgment.
No!
Holy shit! You see it? We did not rig this. I said I was going to be nervous. What happened? It's funny. My son's like across the hall from me with his eyes like cartoonish big. I never like this because this is like the big thing coming down on high saying, I don't give it. Again, it's Capricorn energy as I see it, as I don't give a crap how you feel about things. This is the way things are. And so I feel like hang on, dude. We're live. Guys that have been with us for a long time know how often Sarah and I sync on cards. It's actually really scary. Wow. I don't like that card, though. That's probably my third, Tower.
I think of Atreyu.
Tower, Death, and Judgment are the 3 cards I don't like.
I'm going to say I love how, sorry, I'm just really I get nervous when the spirit. I hear you, okay? I I get nervous when that happens a little bit because I feel like it's really just judging me right in my face and I can't deny it. So I'm a fucking writer and here we are.
I'll admit there's 3 cards I don't like, and that's one of the 3.
I like it because, you know, it's Judgment Day, guys. Don't forget, hell waits for no man. And it's time now. And someone's like, thank God, I've been waiting for hell. It's been hell on earth and I'm ready. And this person's like, fuck, it was today? I didn't plan for hell. I didn't get my tuna basket ready. And this person's like, what? I thought this was going to Boston. And every tarot deck, you've got the 3 people waking up, the person ready to go, the person's like, fuck today, and the other person's like, I thought we were going to Charleston. Like they're confused. Which one are you?
I'm the dude in the middle by far. I'm like, oh shit. I wanted to sleep in.
It depends on the day.
You know, the world's all ending, and I'm like, I wanted to sleep in. Oh, it's funny, we get all these chats, and this has happened every time we do this. So, like, you know, we've either been like siblings in a past life, or spouses in a past life, or something in a past life.
Definitely. I think when we talk about soulmates and how do soulmates, you know, pan out or play out, it's someone that you have a deep connection with that you can communicate in different ways. So
we're pulling Steph's card. Steph asked for a card. Let's pull a Steph card, and you know, the odds of us pulling the same one again are like infinitesimal. Like if we end up doing that, everybody go play the lottery, just so everyone knows. All right, I got Steph's card. Oh, I like this card just because it represents somebody that I like in my deck.
That must mean that you have a minor arcana card, and I don't have a minor arcana card.
I have a person card, so I got Queen of Wands.
The Queen of Wands. I have the Death card.
Ooh.
Right? Okay. Oof. Don't be worried about the Judgment card. Phew. But, you know, Death card and Queen of Wands, man.
So I don't know, Steph, if the Queen of Wands, I don't know how familiar you are with tarot, so I don't know if the Queen of Wands actually like describes you, but I would almost say this as, since you are a female and you asked for this, I would say this is the card describing you, and then Sarah's card would describe that you are facing a big change.
And that you're putting the death to something, and that you are ending something, that you are completing something, and you are like, that is done with that.
For any newbies on here, death doesn't mean death. Death means change.
Oh.
Why I hate the tower is tower means like, you know, catastrophic change coming out of left field, which as somebody who likes everything planned and organized, I hate that. But
no. Yeah, you'll take it. Okay, guys, we are rounding out the end of the
let's do one more. Queen asked for a card, and that was not the card. We didn't pull that with your intention, Queen.
Should we though?
Let's do one more. Let's do one more real quick.
Okay.
Because I don't know, even if she thought that, my intent was just the card for the week, which was Judgment. So we'll do one quick for Queen, and then we'll have to go.
I don't like that card. I'm going to do another one. That's too big.
No.
I don't like that one either. Can we do that? Yeah, I can. I can do that until I feel right about it.
I'll also add, Sarah and I, our way of picking cards is very different.
I feel good about this one.
Mine's kind of bland. I got the Knight of Pentacles.
Ooh,
responsibility.
No, I like that. Responsibility and the Hanged Man. Being cold.
I feel like you're stuck in whatever you're responsible for. You're going to be stuck in those responsibilities for a while. That's how I view that. I don't know how Sarah views it, but that's be my read on that.
Well, no, but that you're killing time. You're just hanging there waiting like, well, I'll do it tomorrow. Don't do that. Stop killing time. Do that thing that you know that you need to do, because I always think of the Knight and the Page, the intern position. It's like, dude, you have the press pass to get in the party. You can do whatever you want, but you're not the lead on the show being held responsible for anything. That's awesome. You get to eat all the shrimp and like not have to do any work. You're in the show. You can do this, but like, you're just going to kill time. So anyway, Wands is fire. Wands is action. You guys, I want you to get a reading. I want you to take part in our New Year's special. I want you to be able to get a reading or a birth chart reading, whatever you would like. Reach out to Matt and I. We are open to working with you. We've got some really cool specials that we're running on just a range of things. So reach out, let us know what you would like, and we will send that information your way. And you guys, if you want to join us for the show next week, bring a friend. Show at 9 p.m. Right, Matt? I'm going to type it up in the chat room, but what else we got to say?
That's fantastic. We appreciate all, this show has grown more and more, and, we got a lot of regulars on here. And so just thankful for each and every one of you guys. So thank you for spending your Tuesday nights with us.
Absolutely. And you guys will see you next week.
A lot of fun. All right. Good night, everyone.